Jordin Silver backstage at the Showbox with, now,
Santogold.
that was my first question.
How do you pronounce it?
I say it that way, but we have many people at the station that say it
Santogold.
differently. Yes.
That's wrong.
Yeah. That is wrong, just so you know.
That is wrong. It's Santogold.
Thank you very much.
For the record.
I just want a beer. Thank you very much.
Oh, there you go.
So the new album, amazing. There's so many different sounds on it. There's punk, there's pop, there's electronica with Creator. Most bands kind of just put 12 songs on a CD that sound exactly the same. Why did you choose to go in another direction with that?
My goal was to make a record that I felt I didn't have to limit myself, you know, and I don't think that naturally any artist or any person is that one-dimensional that they would naturally make something that sounded the same whenever something, unless they were kind of like limited,
right?
talently limited. But I, you know, growing up, I listened to all different kinds of music and had all these different influences, and I just wanted to have an opportunity to sort of let all that exist, you know, side by side, and really make music that I felt like was representative of myself. So it came out like that.
Do you watch Project Runway ever? Have you ever seen the show?
You know, I never did. I really don't watch that much TV, but when we were working on the record and we were in the studio all the time, that was like the highlight. Like whenever we got a break, first of all, it was on all the time. It was just like constantly on. So we'd be like, Project Runway. It was really fun. I love Project Runway, actually.
What colors, because you have such a great style and you put all these colors together that work, what colors don't work together, in your opinion? And I'm wearing black
It's
and blue.
funny that you ask, because like my initial thought was to say red and pink. But this is kind of red and pink. Right? You see a little like,
I do see
well, it's like, it's really purple, but with the red under it, it becomes kind of pinky.
You know what, you make it work though.
Or I was going to say fuchsia and orange. I have a fuchsia and orange toothbrush right now because my fiance picked it for himself and I picked the blue one. And then he just took the blue one.
What?
So I have a really ugly toothbrush. Like the color combination really, really bothers me.
The fuchsia?
The thing about colors though is actually any colors will work together if you do it with a, you know, a smart eye.
Black and blue?
Yeah.
Yes, awesome. Thank you. What's your favorite piece of clothing right now?
Desiree can probably answer that better than I can.
Sorry. You really like your fake Chanel shirts.
Yeah, I forgot it this tour. I like knockoff anything, but I have I have these. Brian Lichtenberg is this awesome designer, and he makes like really cool leggings that a lot of people wear. But he also just makes these tank tops that are the perfect shirt when you're wearing like all kinds of different crazy colors and stuff. You always need something that's kind of neutral. So they're like the statement, you know, because they're black and white. But they say Brian L instead of Chanel. And they're just like this nice weight, and I've been wearing those a lot. But I also have this fake Chanel black and white shirt. Black and white shirts, I mean, they're just so easy to throw in underneath some crazy gold with some purple and stuff. You know what I mean? Then you just need your like plain shirt. So I wore those a lot. But the best is my boyfriend has these fake Jordans.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you
Where do you get fake Jordans?
Right around the corner from my house.
In New York?
But let me just tell you, how you know they're fake is they look exactly like real Jordans, except for they come in like better colorways. They come in like all these cool colors. But the butt, you know how it has the Jordan like with his legs spread?
Yeah.
His butt cheeks are extra pronounced. Like he has a really big ass. And that's how you know.
I am Googling that one.
They're really good.
What are some jobs you did before becoming a musician became your job?
I had one like official job that wasn't music related, and I worked in the airport in Philadelphia. Had this exhibitions program, basically like an art gallery in the airport, and so all the different local artists in Philadelphia, and you build the exhibits in the airport, you know.
Oh yeah, we got some crazy ones in Seattle.
Yeah, Seattle is good. San Francisco has a great airport. Philly's is alright, but it was cool. It was 3 days a week, and I got to choose my 3 days, and it was when I first started my band Stiff. So I'm moving my days around, and this girl, Marina Borker, she separated us. And we weren't allowed to go
Oh
together.
no, that is so high school.
And then she quit, and then I quit, and that was that.
No.
That was my job.
When you were working for Epic Records, is that correct? Do you think that working in the industry gave you an upper hand on like being a musician?
Definitely. I learned pretty much how everything went down in a record company, and I learned enough to know that I didn't want to be there anymore. You know?
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's corporate. It's
Yeah.
and Sony
Yeah.
is like, well, they all are now, but back then Sony was corporate even more than the other labels, you know, and now they're all like, well, there's like 2, 3 labels.
Right.
And they're all like that. But, you know, it wasn't nearly as creative a job as I thought it would be. And even though, like, I love the head of my department, and he gave me, you know, opportunities to do, like, when I was an A&R assistant, he let me sign stories to a demo deal.
Yep.
And he let, you know, he listened to me a lot. He'd call me in the office and ask me what I thought of, like, you know, the VPs, and I'd be like, well, you know, I felt like super important. But so he was really nice and he was really encouraging. But at the same time, when I brought stuff in, they'd be like, oh, you're so crazy.
Wait, your stuff? Your music?
No,
Oh,
I'd bring in artists and stuff,
Oh,
and
okay.
they'd be like, they were just anything Puffy touched at the time. They just wanted to be anything like some random little whack dude that like claimed to be down with Puffy would get like millions of dollars, you know? When you could bring, I brought most stuff, and they're like, no one will like this. You know what I mean? And it was just like, this is like way back then.
Yeah.
You know, and I just felt like it wasn't creative at all. And so then when I signed Reese to the demo deal, I was trying to find songwriters that could do something interesting and new, and I was having a hard time, and so I wrote them. And then I was like, this is way more fun. I'm leaving. Yeah, and then I left, and then I started doing something.
Do you like Bud Light Lime?
I don't drink.
You don't drink?
No.
That gets rid of that question right there. Okay, so I have a really weird last question for you. What would be the piece of advice that if you had a time machine, you would go back in time and tell little Santogold?
Little son.
Little Santogold.
Oh man, I just had to edit myself really good on that question. I would tell myself not to take everything so hard, and like just to, which somebody ended up telling me anyway, but if I knew earlier, it would save myself a lot of stress. Basically, just do what you're gonna do what you have to do, you feel a need to do, you know, to be true to yourself without any specific exact desired outcome, you know, just do what you love because you love it, and don't worry about how things come about, because they will come about if you're doing it right and doing it for the right reason, and you don't need to worry about when or how it's going to happen, because it happens the way it's supposed to.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Santogold. Backstage, Santogold, you heard that right?
Santogold,
Santogold.
yes.
107.70